Okay, so we are back with our live coverage of the CAIS conference here at the Beverly Hilton, in Beverly Hills, of course. And my next guest is Harrison Quinn, who is the CEO and founder, I should say, of HDQ Wealth. Harrison, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to see you.
Great to see you. And Harrison and I spoke a little bit yesterday and was like, we got to get you on the show because I love your story.
Yeah.
You represent what I think is going to be the next wave in this business. We're talking about where the puck is going.
Yeah.
Where the puck has been going is broker-dealers going to RIAs. And we're certainly seeing that still. Where I believe the puck is going to go next is you.
Yeah.
The Breakaway Breakaway.
Yeah.
Tell us what we mean by that.
Yeah. So started in more the traditional side, right? At big insurance setup, and
as he looks dubiously into the camera.
Yeah. And didn't know a ton about the industry, honestly. And went where I could get a job, and quickly kind of understood this wasn't my forever home, but didn't know much else in the industry.
Right.
And then my next stop was kind of a hybrid, smaller firm, and realized still it was kind of the same thing, just cloaked in a different layer.
You're getting closer.
Yeah. And then with a simple few Google searches, found out about this crazy thing called RIA.
Yeah.
And then a la carte, all from scratch in 2021, launched the firm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what we're trying to do with goRIA.com, is let people know that there are alternatives, certainly to the wirehouse, certainly to the insurance-based broker-dealers, and even to the IBD space.
Yeah.
So something I say about the IBD space, and I came from that, and I loved it. It was a great place for me to be for 20 years. I really ramped up my business. But here's what I say about the independent broker-dealer space, is that you are completely 100% independent, right up until you want to do something they don't want you to do. Then you're not exactly as independent as you might like. And I think you found that with certain products that you wanted to recommend to clients. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the funny conversation too is when I go into the space at conferences like this and meet really awesome advisors, they look at me, they go, oh yeah, I'm independent too. And then they're like, well, but I can't do that.
Exactly.
So I'm like, not quite independent. But my background before becoming an advisor was more in the startup space, venture capital, real estate, and private equity. And really my number one goal when setting out was to not have to tell my clients no when they discovered either an investment or an asset class that we either could advise on or directly place for them.
That sounds good. All right, so now you've been completely on your own, truly independent for 4 years now, 4.5 years?
Yeah, 4.5 years now.
All right, so what are your plans? You got a little runway ahead of you, more than I do, so what are you looking to do?
We're trying to thoughtfully grow, right? We've got 5 total advisors, including myself.
Nice.
We have an office down in Miami, we're headquartered in Kansas City, and then we just opened an office in St. Louis.
Wow.
And so trying to thoughtfully grow with the right team. Doesn't have to be young, but it is, it looks as though it's, a little bit more on the young side. And really like-minded advisors, and then trying to find clients that associate. Because really we're trying to find and discover all of the yeses and not necessarily try to convince the no's.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to work with a bank that's sponsoring stadiums, knock yourself out. There's tons of those guys, and they'll take your money and charge you a high fee and give you maybe lesser service than you deserve. But for people that do understand or need to be educated on the independent space, the fiduciary space, and really have access to unique investments like alternatives, and obviously, here at CAIS is a great place, and I know you've got something cooking as well.
I do.
But really having that alignment from a client side and then an advisor side.
I love that. Look for the yeses. Don't worry about the nos, right? Because so many advisors really get hung up on that.
Yeah.
Just move on. There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Find the fit that you're going to work best with and bring those people in.
100%.
Excellent. All right, so as we're coming up on time, what would you say to that advisor that maybe is a potential breakaway? They made that first leg from bad to better, but not great. What would you say to get them to great?
To understand that, it's difficult to either evaluate and even, comprehend what the options are out there. Because a lot of people, I'll talk with people, we were talking about this right before, advisors don't really know what's out there. And people will say, just like advisors are fiduciaries, people will say fiduciary in a loose term, right? Or we're independent. So really understanding, kind of doing your own research to feel and realize what an independent RIA is and what it can provide, and then start knocking on doors. Because if you are young in this space and you want to be successful for a long time and offer your clients the best option, that's really where you're going to do it. And it's the most fun, and it's best for the client. And so that's something that I try to marry those two things together.
Real good. I tell you what, that's a great place to put a pin in it for today. Harrison, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right, so that's it for this particular segment. We have 2 more left for today. Stay tuned for that. I'll be back in another 35, 45 minutes with more goRIA. Thanks for joining us. Harrison, thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.